so first of all, for this example, we need to rearrange your data first. So give the data which is 10 days. So your n, obviously we have 10. So your n which is 10. I already rearranged for you. Okay, so we have to find the average. So to find the mean, so you have to add up the whole data there. So we're gonna have to rewrite everything. And then we have to divide the whole thing with number of data which is 10. Okay, so total of data berapa? The total for the data. Kita dapat berapa total data?
2584.
2584. Okay, good. Alright, so 2584, which is divided by 10. So obviously your mean will be equal with 258.4. Okay, so that one part A. Part B, so to find the first and third quartile. So how to find the quartile? Starting, we have to find your observation first. So the observation, which is 10 divided by 4. So we're gonna have X. So we're gonna have decimal or integer?
Decimal, miss.
Decimal. So we have 2.5. So we have to round up. We're gonna have the third observation, which is based on the data they arranged. We have 217. And then the third quartile, where we have it, X3 times 10 over 4. So we're gonna have 7.5. So you have to round up. We're gonna have the 8th observation. So the 8th one, which is 302. Okay, and then we have done first and third. So you have to find the interquartile range. So how to find the interquartile range, which is you have to find the difference between Q3 and Q1. So Q3 minus Q1, we're gonna have 302 minus 217. So we're gonna have 85. Okay, so that one part B done. So part C, to find the percentile, the same method with the quartile, but we have to divide by 100 instead of 4. Okay, so we have to find the 15 percentile, so it means P15. So to find the observation, we're gonna have X 15 over 100 times with 10. So obviously we have X 15 divided by 10, so we have 1.5. So you have to round out to be the second observation. So based on the data that we already arranged, we're gonna have the second one, which is 210. Okay, and then the next one, which is we have to find the percentile of 64. So the observation will be 64 divided by 100 times 10. So we're gonna have observation 6.4. So you have to round up to be 7. So the 7th observation, which is 279. Okay, so that was example 5B. Okay, so the next one, which is exercise 5. So I leave it to you to give a try. So we will discuss this one in the face-to-face lesson. Okay, so this one is a DIY for you. So in this exercise, involved with the stem and leaf, and also to find the mean, median, and quartile, and also percentile. Okay, so the next one, which is we have box plot. So box and whisker plot, or we also name it as a box plot, which is only for ungrouped data. So basically for the ungrouped data, you will encounter with two parts. The first one, you have to construct stem and leaf. The second one, you need to construct box and whisker. Okay, so only involved for the ungrouped data. Okay, so how to construct a box plot? We have it 5 steps. So starting with the finding minimum, quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, and also maximum value. So before you find this value, you need to arrange. So mesti susun dulu. Arrange dahulu. So arrange your data in ascending order. Okay. And then determine minimum, which is the smallest value, maximum the highest value. So first quartile, third quartile, and then Q2 we know this one as in median as well. Okay, so now we already find 5 values. So another 2, which is we have to find the upper and lower inner fence. So this is the formula to find the upper and lower inner fence. So for the upper, which is we involve with the third quartile plus 1.5 times with the interquartile. So yang ini adalah interquartile. So lower inner fence, which is first quartile minus with 1.5 times with the interquartile. So once we have 7 values, we're gonna have to draw a horizontal line, which is with the specific scale yang fixed, and then we have to plot the values by the horizontal line test. Horizontal line. Okay, and then we have to connect, so dia akan bentuk seperti ini. So you have to connect your quartile to be a box, and then from the minimum to quartile 1 with the line, and then third quartile with the maximum with the line. And then yang LIF dan juga UIF tu kita akan letak sebagai dotted line. Okay, so the scale yang di sini bermaksud suitable scale here, it represent for this line. Okay, so kalau kamu buat satu bahagian ini, let's say 2 cm, di sini pun mesti 2 cm. So dia fix untuk semua sekali. Okay, so everything must be 2 cm, 2 cm. So let's say we put here 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and so on. So dia mesti fix. Ataupun kalau kamu nak buat, we can have it 5, 15, 20, 25 and so on. Pun tak ada masalah. Okay, but make sure your scale must be fixed. Okay, so that's how we construct the box plot. So number 5, we have to conclude. So conclude involved with skewness and outlier. So what is outlier is all about? So outlier, which is the data lies within the fence. So dotted line ni kita panggil pagar juga. Okay, so kalau data terkeluar daripada pagar, let's say yang ini, this one. So kalau data terkeluar daripada pagar, we name it as a hash outlier. Okay, kalau data di dalam pagar, we don't have any outlier. Okay, so data yang terkeluar daripada pagar kita akan letak sebagai cross ataupun dense circle. Alright, so skewness. So for the skewness, we will see from the difference between the left hand side and right hand side. So left hand side tu bermaksud daripada Q2, daripada median ke minimum, and also median ke maximum. So kalau kita tengok pada first diagram, we have it the same length. So we call it this one as symmetrical. Okay, but if we have the left hand side is longer than right hand side, we name it as negatively skewed. If we have the right hand side longer than left hand side, we're gonna have positively skewed. Okay, so that's how we determine for the skewness. So make sure kena tahu perbezaan. Okay, so kalau kau boleh tak nampak daripada box plot, kamu boleh kira daripada Q2 kepada maximum untuk the left right hand side, Q2 to the minimum for the left hand side. Okay, so that one for the skewness and outlier. Now we can proceed with the example 6A. So example 6A, where we have it to construct the box plot on the second part. First thing, you have to rearrange. So arrange in ascending order, and then part A, where we have it to find median, first quartile and third quartile. Okay, so finding the median first. So your n, which is 15, we find from here. So median, which is Q2, so x 15 over 2. We're going to have the decimal, which is 7.5. Observation 7.5. So we round up. We're going to have observation yang ke-8. So we're gonna have 21. Alright. First quartile, where we have it x 15/4. So the same pattern, which is we have decimal, which is 3.75. So we're gonna have observation yang keempat. So we have it 20. And then the third quartile, where we have it x 3 times 15/4. So ini kita dapat berapa nilai dia?
11.25.
11.25. Good. So we're gonna have to round up. We're gonna have observation yang ke-12. So the 12th observation, which is 24. Okay, so now we have done the 3 values. But remember, for the box plot, we need 7. Okay, so we already have it 3. So to find another 4. So we need, so this one first, second, third. So 4, we need to find minimum. Number 5, we need maximum. And then 6, which is we need to find lower inner fence. And then 7, we need to find upper inner fence. Okay, so minimum kita adalah 18, which is this one. And then maximum, which is we have 30. So lower inner fence, we have the formula, which is Q1 minus 1.5 times IQ. So your interquartile, which is Q3 minus Q1, which is 24 minus 20, we get 4. So we're going to have Q1, which is 20 minus 1.5 times 4. So you will end up your LIF, which is 14. And then for the UIF, which is upper inner fence, we have third quartile plus 1.5 times IQ. So we have it 24 plus 1.5 times 4. We're gonna have 30. Okay, so now we already have it, the 7 values. So to plot it, so let's say I'll make it the scale to be 10, 15, 20, and so on. So let's say I'll put here 10. So scale ataupun box plot mesti pakai pembaris. Okay, so we have it 15 here. 20, 25, 30. Okay, so I cancel this one first. Okay, so for the fence, so kalau kita tengok kita ada pagar di sini, so you have to plot it as a dotted line. So we have 14. So maybe somewhere around here, 14. We can have it nearly with the 15 here. Okay, this one is your lower inner fence. Upper inner fence on the dot 30. Okay, so we can have it the box, which is Q1, Q2, Q3. So Q1, which is 20. So 20 is here. And then Q2, which is 21. So maybe somewhere around here, 21. And then 24, maybe near with the 25. So we make it as a box. We combine, okay. And then the minimum, which is 18. Maybe somewhere around here, 18. And then the maximum, which is 30 on the dot on your upper fence. So combine using the line. So we can have it box plot. Okay, so now we already done with the plot all the 7 values. So we have to give a comment. So the comment, we can see the length from the median to the minimum, and then from the median to the maximum, which is longer on the right hand side. So obviously we have it positively skewed. Kita ada outlier tak? Do we have outlier? Ada data? Okay, data tak terkeluar daripada pagar. Obviously we have no outlier. Okay, just in case tiba-tiba dekat sini ada ini. Ada satu data terkeluar daripada pagar. So bila terkeluar daripada pagar, kita akan ada outlier. Okay, alright. So that one for the example 6A. Are you okay so far?
Okay, Miss.
Okay. All right, so 6B, where we have it quite long data. So rearrange first. So if you arrange, we're gonna have starting with the lowest one, which is 31, I guess, this one. So we have 31, 32, 40, 41, 45, 50, 51, 52, 54, 55, 57, and then we have 61 directly. 61 we have twice, and then 62, 65 we have twice also, and then 66 we have thrice, 3 kali 66, 68, 69, 70, 72, and last one which is 79. Okay, so now we have to find the 5 values, first, second, third quartile, upper fence and lower inner fence. So we have it the first quartile, which is observation, and kita ada berapa? How many ends
24,
we have?
Miss.
24.
24, Miss.
24? Is it?
25.
45.
25. Okay, so we have 25. Yes?
41 have twice.
Oh, 41 ada twice. Okay, so we have it here will be 41 twice. Thank you. Okay, cukup tak data saya?
5.
Okay. Alright, so we have 25 over 4. So obviously we're gonna have the decimal. So we're gonna have x7. So your x7 will be 2467, which is 50. And then second quartile, which is 25 divided by 2. So we have as observation 12.5. So we round out will be 13 observation. So 13, which is 61. And then the third quartile, where we have it x 3 times 25 over 4. So we're gonna have 18.75. So it'll be 19. So yang ke-19 berapa nilai kita? Which is 25, 24, 66, isn't it? Okay. Alright, so we have to find the upper limit and upper fence and lower fence. So for these two values, you need interquartile. So the interquartile, we're gonna have 66 minus 50. So we're gonna have 16. So here will be Q3, which is 66 plus 1.5 times 16. And then LIF, which is 50 minus 1.5 times 16. Okay. Upper inner fence kita dapat berapa? Kira. Kita dapat upper inner fence
90.
90. Okay. Lower inner fence
26.
26. Okay. Good. So we already done finding the 5 values. So to construct a box and whisker plot, you need another 2, which is minimum and maximum. So minimum, which is 31, maximum, which is 79. So plot it. So let's say I'll make it the scale to be 20, 30, 40. So let's say I'll bring up first. Okay, so we have it 20, 30, 40. So make sure you use your ruler. And then here 90. Okay, so we have it your lower inner fence, which is 26. So most probably will be somewhere around here, which is more than half. Okay, and then we have the upper inner fence, which is 90. This somewhere around here. And then the Q1, which is 50. It's here, 50. And then we have your Q2, which is 61, nearly with the 60. And then Q3, which is 66, which is more than half. So you combine everything as a box. Now we're gonna have to combine with the minimum value, which is 31. And then maximum, which is 79, maybe somewhere around here. Okay, so we have done plotting. So conclusion, is it positively skewed or negatively skewed? Because it's not, it's obviously not symmetrical. Yang mana lagi panjang?
Negatively.
Negative.
Okay, so we have negatively skewed since the left hand side is longer than right hand side. So since we don't have any data out from the fence, so there is no outlier. Okay, so that one, example 6b. So exercise 6 also for your own practice, DIY. Okay, now we can proceed with the next one, which is group data for the measure of location. So measure of location for group data. So once again, group data represent table with interval. Okay, mesti table yang ada interval. Okay, so to find mean, median and mode first. So I already make it the steps. So for the mean, starting, we have to find the midpoint. So what is midpoint? So I already put the formula down part here, which is finding by lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Okay, so once we have the midpoint, because this one we call it as a x, midpoint we call it as a x. So you have to times with the frequency for each class. Okay, so midpoint mesti cari untuk setiap kelas, darabkan dengan frequency kelas tersebut, and then you have to add up the fx to divide by total frequency. So you can have it the mean. Okay, so for the median, we're gonna have to find the observation first. So the n here, which is total frequency, so you have to divide by 2 first. So once you have it, the n over 2, so you need to identify the median class based on observation here, refer to cumulative frequency. So cumulative frequency, which is pertambahan frekuensi daripada atas sampai bawah. Okay, and then the third one, once you already have it median class, you need to put into this formula. So the formula given here, which is LK represent lower boundary class. This one, okay, and then n over 2, we get it from step 1. And then capital F represent cumulative frequency. But since we have K minus 1, it depends or it based on before class sebelum median class. Okay, and then class width, I already put the formula down part, which is we can find it by upper boundary minus lower boundary. And then small f represent frequency of the class median. Okay, that one for median. For the mode, starting we have to find your mode class. So untuk frequency, untuk median, kamu akan refer kepada cumulative frequency, kolom cumulative frequency ataupun kita panggil CF. Tapi untuk mode, kita akan refer kepada frequency column, which is small f. Okay, so once kita pilih yang highest frequency, kita dah tahu class tu adalah mode class. So once we know the class, we can follow this formula. So pattern yang sama, LB represent lower boundary class, and then the D1, which is perbezaan frekuensi dengan kelas sebelum, and then the D2, perbezaan frekuensi dengan kelas selepas. So the D1 will be before, the D2 will be after. Okay, so the class width as well, which is upper boundary minus lower boundary. Okay, so I already put here. So how to apply these 3 part first? So kita akan tengok kepada table 1 and table 2. So table 1 where we have it interval with gap. Bermaksud antara satu kelas dan the next class, dia ada gap antara 5 dan 6, 10, 11, 15, 16, 20, 21. Itu bermaksud we have a gap. But if you can see from the table 2, we don't have any gap which is directly the same value. 5 and as in the upper limit for the first class will be the lower limit for the second class. The same thing for the 9, which is upper limit for the second class will be the lower limit for the third class. Okay, so this one we call it as in lower limit. And then this one we call it as upper limit. Okay, so this one adalah F. Ini adalah X. Okay, to find midpoint, dia akan jadi upper limit ataupun lower limit. Okay, lower limit plus dengan upper limit bahagi 2. So we're going to have 1 plus 5 divided by 2, we're going to have 3. 6 plus 10 over 2, we're going to have 8. 11 plus 15 divided by 2, we're going to have 13. 16 plus 20 divided by 2, dapat berapa?
18.
18, good. And then the last one, we're going to have 23. By add up 21 and 25 divided by 2. Okay, so once we already have it midpoint, so to find the CF, so we have to add up all this frequency according to the class. So starting will be 10. So 10 plus 5, we have it 15. 15 plus 12, we're going to have 27. So 27 plus 7, we're going to have 34. And then last one will be 37. So this one also represent summation of F. Okay, total frequency. Okay, and then lower boundary, which is, we're going to have the formula here. Lower boundary, which is upper limit of previous class, plus lower limit of the class. Okay. So untuk cari lower boundary, kita akan start pada second class dulu. So second class we have limit 6 to 10. So the lower limit untuk kelas ni adalah 6. So dia akan jadi 6 ditambah dengan kelas upper limit kelas sebelum adalah 5. So divide by 2, we're gonna have 5.5. Okay. For the third class, for the lower limit, lower boundary, we're going to have 11 plus 10. So 10 plus 11 divided by 2. So we have 10.5. And then the fourth class, we have it 15 plus 16 divided by 2. We're going to have 15.5. So as you can see, the pattern, which is we add up or we minus 0.5 from the lower limit. So here will be 20.5. And then here, obviously, we're going to have 0.5. Okay, so that's how we find for the lower boundary. Okay, whenever we have a question, dalam solution kertas jawapan, pastikan kamu perlu tambah kolom. So, table perlu disalin dan kamu akan tambah beberapa kolom baru. So, for this case, we add up fx. Sebab fx ni kita nak pakai untuk cari mean. Okay. So find the fx, which is you have to times your f with the x. So here we can have 10 times 3, we have 30. 5 times 8, we have 40. 12 times 13 will be 156. 7 times 18, we're going to have 126. And then 3 times 23, we have it 69. So you have to add up your fx. So add up, kita dapat berapa ni? Nilai dia berapa?
Four to one.
421, good. Okay, so 421, this one we call it as summation of fx. So once you already have it all this table in your solution, so we can directly find your mean terus bagi nilai yang ini, which is formula dia adalah summation fx over summation f. So we can just put 4 to 1 divided by 37. Tak perlu tambah-tambah lagi. Sebab kamu dah buat di bahagian kolom ni. So directly kita boleh pakai nilai yang kamu ada. So we're gonna have 11.38. Okay, so that's how to find the mean. Okay, class width. Class width adalah upper boundary minus lower boundary. So let's say we take it for the second class. So lower boundary kita dah tahu dah, which is 5.5. But for the upper boundary untuk the second class adalah 10.5. This one represent lower boundary for this class. This one will be upper boundary for the second class. Okay, sebab sini adalah 5.5, ini adalah 10.5. So we're going to have 10.5 minus 5.5. So we're going to have the value which is 5. So class width needed in finding median and mode. So formula untuk median adalah lower boundary plus n over 2 minus fk minus 1, the whole thing divided by fk times c. Okay, so before you find or you use the formula, you need to know the observation lies on which class. So kamu perlu cari observation dulu. So x 37 divided by 2. Kita akan dapat berapa? Observation yang ke berapa?
18.5.
Okay, 18.5. Okay, untuk group data, we no need to round up. Yang round up hanyalah untuk group ungroup data. Untuk group data, we need to use directly your value here. So value di sini kita akan letakkan dalam n over 2. So tak perlu round up. Okay, so 18.5 it lies on. So kita akan refer kepada column cumulative frequency. So 18.5 it lies on here, on the third class. Sebab second class baru 15, dia tak sampai lagi 18.5. So 18.5 jatuh pada third class. So it's 11 to 15 class. So we have to put into the formula here. So lower boundary for the third class will be 10.5 plus 18.5, which is we found from this one, minus cumulative frequency class before. So class median adalah di sini. So class before dia adalah 15. So minus 15 divided by frequency of the class, which is 12 here. And then C kita berapa tadi? C kita adalah 5. Okay. So calculate dapat berapa? We'll get berapa nilai dia? Berapa nilai kamu dapat untuk median? Kita akan dapat
11.96.
11.96. Okay, good. Alright, so for the mode. So untuk median, we refer to CF. Column CF. Tapi untuk mode, kita akan refer kepada column F, the small f. So the highest frequency adalah 12. So kebetulan dia jatuh pada kelas yang sama, 11 to 15. So the lowest boundary, which is 10.5 as well, plus the D1. So untuk cari D1, we're going to have 12 minus with 5. We're going to have 7. The D2, 12 minus with 7. So we're going to have 5. So yang D1 adalah sebelum, D2 adalah selepas. So this one is the D1, this one is the D2. So we're going to have to put into the formula, so 7 over 7 plus 5 times 5. So we're going to have your mode, which is 13.42. Okay, so that's how we find mean, median, and mode for the table with gap. Okay, the next one, which is without gap. So we will have the slightly difference for the midpoint and also for the low boundary. Okay, so untuk frequency yang ini maintain. Okay, untuk midpoint, so 1 plus 5 divided by 2, we're going to have 3. 5 plus 9 over 2, we get 7. And then the next one, we get 11. 13 plus 17 divided by 2, we have 15. And then the last one, we get 19. Okay, so dia tak sama dengan yang ada gap tadi. Okay, Cumulative frequency stay the same because the frequency doesn't change at all. So we can have 10, 15, 27, 34 and 37. So this one will be summation of F. Okay, lower limit, lower boundary. So since we don't have any gap, so we will take it this one as in lower boundary. Lower limit akan jadi lower boundary, upper limit akan jadi upper boundary. Okay, so here will be 1, 5, 9, 13, 17. Okay, so fx akan berubah sebab nilai x kamu berubah. So we have 30 here, 35, and then here we can have 132. Here will be 105, and then last one 57. So total kan berapa? Summation fx kamu? Summation fx kita dapat
359.
359. So this one represent your summation of fx. Okay, to find the mean, directly we can use the value there. So divided by 37, so we can have 9.703. And then for the median and for the mode, you need the class width. So class width kita berapa?
4.
4, which is, let's say we take it 9 minus 4, 5, we get 4. Okay. So median, we're gonna have 37 divided by 2. So observation, 37 divided by 2, we have x, 18.5, the same pattern. So it lies on, so based on CF, it lies on here. Okay, so kelas dia adalah 9 to 13. So the lower limit, lower boundary adalah 9. So 9 plus 18.5 minus with cumulative frequency class before, which is 15, divided by frequency of the class, which is 12, times with 4. Okay, kira ni dapat berapa? So the median we will get
10.17.
10.17. Okay, good. For the mode, which is we still have the same value, which is 12. Okay, so lies on the same class with the median. So mode lower boundary adalah 9. So the D1, which is 12 minus 5, we get 7. D2, which is 12 minus 7, we get 5. So we have it 7 over 7 plus 5 times with your class width, which is 4. So you will get mode, which is 11.33. Okay, so that's how we find the mean, median, and mode for the table with gap and also without gap. Okay, so kalau yang ada gap, upper limit kelas before tambah dengan lower limit kelas tersebut, bagikan dengan 2, kamu akan dapat lower boundary. Tapi untuk without gap, directly kita ambil lower limit sebagai lower boundary. Okay, so we move to 7A. Okay, so once we have it this one, so from the question we know that this one represent your summation F. Okay, so table ni kamu perlu salin dalam kertas jawapan. And you have to add up a new column. So kita akan tambah a new column untuk X, untuk fx, and also CF. Okay. Kenapa kita nak tambah X, fx dan CF? Sebab kamu nak cari mean, median, and mode. So untuk mean, kamu perlukan summation F dan juga summation fx. So kamu perlukan midpoint dan juga fx. Untuk median, kamu perlukan CF. Dan untuk mode, kamu hanya perlukan F sahaja. Okay, so bagi apa yang kamu perlukan. Ataupun tambah kolom mengikut apa yang kamu perlukan. So yang tak berkaitan tu tak payah tambah. Okay, alright, so for the midpoint. So 65 plus 85 divided by 2. So we can have 75 here. 95, 115, 135, 155, 175, and then the last one will be 195. Okay, so FX yang pertama berapa nilai dia? Kira berapa?
675.
675. Second one,
950.
okay, and then here will be quite large, 1955, 1350, 795, 700, and then 975. Okay, so at the end of this column, you have to put the total. Okay, so cari total dia berapa ni?
Miss, yang FX tu yang
Sorry, this one should be 7,
155.
right?
Ah.
Okay, thank you. 775. Okay. Total berapa? Total we get
7380.
okay, good. 7380. So the CF we have to add up the whole frequency. So starting with the 9, 19, 36, 46, 51, 55, and then 60. Okay, so this one represent your summation of fx, and then this one which is summation f. Okay, to find the mean. So since we already put this table, the whole thing in your solution, so kita terus pakai nilai 7380 bahagikan dengan 60. So kita akan dapat 1, 2, 3. Okay, median. So you have to find the observation first. So x 60 divided by 2, we're going to have observation yang ke-30. So 30 lies on this one, this class. Sebab kita refer kepada CF. Okay, so we have it the lower boundary, which is, since we don't have any gap, so directly your lower limit will be the lower boundary. So 105 plus, so 30 minus, so cumulative class before, which is 19, divided by frequency for the class, which is 17. Okay, class width kita berapa? Class width, which is low upper boundary minus lower boundary.
20.
20, good. Okay, so we're gonna have, which is, nilai dia adalah 117.94. Okay, the next one, which is mood. So we will refer to the frequency. So the highest one, which is 17. So the same class with the median. So lower boundary will be 105 plus the D1. D1 adalah 17 minus 10, we get 7. The D2, which is 17 minus 10 as well, we get 7. So yang ini D1, ini adalah D2. So 7 divided by 7 plus 7 times with 20. So total dia berapa? Kita akan dapat
115.
115. Okay, so far so good everyone.
Okay, Miss.
Okay. Alright, so we've finished up until this part.